I'm here, Jed Musgrave, 292 East Longview Drive, North Ogden. I'm here to testify that I am in fact a good landlord. And that can be attested by Paul Smith, the teacher of the Good Landlord program in the area where I am, in fact, a good landlord. My purpose for coming tonight was landlords, which I don't know if that's actually how the discussion went, but that's what the newspaper articles seem to infer. The Good Landlord program is, in fact, probably either income neutral or loses money because it costs more to administer the program than the fees it generates. However, it is probably are on a per house basis, and those are the taxes that we pay in our property taxes. And in North Ogden, I pay a little bit over $6,000 in property taxes. Most of that I know I think goes to the school district, but my tenants have children that go to school, and I think that's a fair tax. And it's based on the value of those homes, which I think is a fair tax. In Ogden City, the same thing, but in Sunset City, the taxes that I pay, I think are all assessed to me fairly and go to services that apply to those homes. I don't know if having a business license for each home that I own in North Ogden is a fair tax. I think one business license where I register all 3 houses for minimal fee would be a fair tax. And I would be happy to pay that. And for that matter, I do believe that North Ogden applies taxes in a fair manner, and I've said this before when I was on the council, that I did never as a councilman, I don't feel now that I'm not on the council that the services that are provided are not, but I think they are the best services provided anywhere in any of the cities, and that our tax that we pay is worth every penny of the services we get. But I don't know if applying this kind of a fee to landlords is a good idea, or if it's fair. And I appreciated what Wade Goodwer said when he mentioned that the businesses are not a liability to the city; they're an asset. We have employees, we generate sales tax income, business people do a lot of good things for a municipality. Although my business isn't here, my landlord business does business here, and I also don't think that landlords and property management people are a liability to the city. I think we pay fair taxes and receive the services just as a homeowner. And the other thing, one of the things I was going to bring up, you reminded me of this. There is extra expenses in being a good landlord because we pay initially to be in the program. We pay every other year to have a 4-hour refresher course, and when you sign up you take a 4-hour course. They teach you how to correctly screen tenants, do applications, manage your property, how to react to crime on your property, drugs on your property, all the things that Paul will tell you about. So it's a great program. However, I'm very doubtful that it will achieve any goals in North Ogden that it's meant to achieve in other cities because we have such a low crime rate. So if Paul was going to high-density housing and complexes constantly, and if the rental units in North Ogden were of a rundown nature, or they were all in one area that was seeming to attract a lot of business for the police and a lot of tenants that weren't desirable, then there would be that need. But the fact is, in North Ogden, most tenants, or most landlords, I shouldn't say most, there is a large percentage of landlords that are not landlords because they are businessmen. They're landlords because they've gotten into a position where they need to rent the house out instead of losing it. Or they've rented the house to in-laws or relatives, so they're not really landlords as for the purpose of the investment and profit making, but in order to preserve a property in the family or to preserve a property until they can move back into it or sell it in a better market. So it would be an undue hardship, especially on those type of landlords, to extract a high fee. Like I said when I started, I think a modest business license fee would probably be acceptable and appropriate. Thanks again.
Thank you, Jed. We appreciate it. Any comment from the council? I think folks need to understand is, you know, we're just barely getting into looking into this landlord program. We've heard about it. It's been mentioned to us. That's one reason we have Mr. Smith here tonight. Is so we're just barely finding out some information. So that's as far as we are at this point. No decisions have been made, and we'll look forward to hearing more in a few minutes when we get to that item. Any other public comments? Seeing none, we're on the edge of the chair. This is going to be a discussion only regarding the Good Landlord program. And we have Mr. Paul Smith, who's the Executive Director of the Utah Apartment Association, with us. We appreciate you being here, Mr. Smith. And if you'll come forward, please.
I appreciate the opportunity to come up here to this beautiful city and talk to you a little bit about the Good Landlord program. I can tell from all the happy faces in the room that all of the landlords here are really supportive of this program, so it's going to be an easy presentation for me. The Apartment Association represents the rental housing industry in this state, and we support this program for a couple of reasons. And I want to explain those reasons, and I want to explain what the Good Landlord program is and what it isn't for the few people here that might have some misconceptions or have some misinformation about it. And then I want to talk to you about how, when properly used, it can improve and benefit not only the community, but the landlords and the renters as well. So, first of all, the Good Landlord Program Association came to them and said, look, it's not fair for you to punish all landlords for the sins of the few. Some landlords are causing problems, no question. Some rentals have more calls with your landlords, and then you never have the kinds of problems that those other communities have.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, Carl.
It's Paul, right?
Yes.
I'm not sure. How does this affect commercial property landlords, or does it affect them at all?
Well, when a city decides to do a Good Landlord program, you have to start with, and I believe you already done one, a disproportionate fee study. And your disproportionate fee study is oftentimes more comprehensive than just looking at your landlords. It looks at the additional costs of all of your categories of businesses. And then you as a city can set up a fee schedule to charge those businesses whatever the disproportionate study says that you can. So far, I'm not aware of any discount program like the Good Landlord program for any other category of businesses, including commercial rentals, including hotels or hospitals or whatever. But you certainly could set up those types of programs if you desire. It's just a different fee for a different type of customer right now.
Any other questions? Okay. Thank you.
Thanks for the opportunity. I'm happy to work with you. Your staff has been great to work with, and we appreciate the opportunity to be involved. We want this program to be very low impact on your landlords. We don't want any of your landlords to have to pull their hair out because of the extra fees or the extra hoops you make them jump through. However, let me just remind you, if I knit mittens in your city, or if I have a daycare in your city, I have to have a business license. You currently have a big loophole, and that's rental businesses. And most cities across the state have said, that's a loophole we need to close. We need to license all of those rental businesses because they are legitimate businesses and they have legitimate impacts. And so I don't think it's a big issue and help you reduce your cost for service. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much. We appreciate you coming. Any other comments, Martha?
Just one other comment, that is that I would not want to have the perception in the community that this is being looked at as a revenue-generating item. It has some other advantages, and I think Mr. Smith really touched on those in that there is a criminal element in society, and we certainly want to make sure that as a community we are doing everything to continue our safety and our safe community. And if this is something that we should explore to continue that, then that's a motive right there. So, thank you.